At some point throughout the night, Tsukishima found himself awakening to a dim lit light in the corner of his bedroom shining a toxic green color. He turned towards the light for a second, noticing it was radiating from the trash can. He blinked, thinking to himself, what the fuck? The tired boy rubbed his eyes, thinking. No, hoping that the light would disappear, and he was just incredibly tired. But again, the light beamed from the metal bin a little brighter this time. God. Maybe Kuro was right, I am working myself too hard. Or, I'm going crazy. He turned his back to the light facing the gray walls of his dorm. He clenched his eyes closed, trying to force himself to fall asleep, but now the light was just bothering him. That was before he heard a loud thud and the bin falling over. Ouch. There was a quiet and short yelp from the spot in the room which caught Tsukishima's attention, but he tried to ignore it, insisting he was just tired. Go to sleep, there's nothing there. There's nothing, geez. Why is this place so cramped? Is someone in here? A soft voice peeped up, causing Tsukishima to jolt up and scan the dorm before noticing a blurry outline of someone sitting there in the corner. What the fuck is this? I'm going insane. Huh. Oh, there is someone in here. I'm sorry. Tsukishima hopped off the bed, flicking on the lights to reveal the boy. He had the trash bin in his hands, which was once filled with crumpled up papers and candy wrappers. Now it was empty. All of those wrappers being scattered around the room. He set down the bin gently, looking at Tsukishima nervously. There's an intruder in here. In my dorm. Who are you? I'm calling the police, I don't have time for this. Actually, how'd you get in here? No way you could have been here before I would have noticed you. Unless I really was that tired. Maybe I'm still dreaming. Don't freak out, K. This is definitely a thief or something. Will you let me? What the hell is happening? I'm calling the police. Can you be quiet for a second and let me speak? Please. The sudden outburst of the green-haired boy caught Tsukishima's attention as he was reaching his arm over his bed to grab his phone. I'm not an intruder. Well, not the one you're thinking about, at least. You're in my living space without my permission or knowledge. How is that not intrusion? Well, it technically is, but I'm not just any intruder. I'm not following. Look, I'm calling the police, so you can try, but it won't help you, so I don't suggest you waste time doing that unless you wanna look crazy. Is that a threat? No. Sorry, I didn't mean for it to sound like that. It's just if you called the police you really would look crazy because, how do I say this? They can't see me. So you'd look unstable. I already think I'm crazy even seeing you here in the first place, so what's there to lose? You're not. I promise you, I'm 100% real. I'm just, in your imagination. Literally going insane, that's the end of the story. What do you mean you're in my imagination? And yet you still say you're real? Well, yeah, okay, so like here's the deal, I'm sorta kinda maybe like a god and stuff. Excuse me? You're joking. No, I'm quite literally a deity. And well, like you summoned me. First of all, no, I didn't. Second of all, aren't gods supposed to be summoned from shrines or rituals or something? I don't know, pretty sure they aren't supposed to just appear in my bedroom though. And third, you don't even look like a god, you look like some annoying Walmart manager, so please don't make me laugh. Okay, first off, rude. Second of all, the shrine thing is a common misconception between you humans. Some gods can be talked to through shrines, but they can't be summoned. They're normally asked for favors and offered gifts, but that's all shrines are for. Third of all, you had to have summoned me because I wouldn't be here right now if you didn't. What's your definition of a god anyways? From my knowledge, a real god is a superhuman immortal being or spirit worshipped by people. See, and that's what I am. I'm just not as popular as the world's creators. I don't have my own shrine or anything like that, but I'm still technically a god. I'm just not fancy. By definition then, you're technically not a god. Tsukishima stared at him intensely with an annoyed look on his face. He finally turned around to grab the pair of glasses on the nightstand behind him. Well, since seeing a god is so rare, it's a typical mistake on what humans really think us gods are. You know, there's different kinds. Still not buying it? Well, I'm Tadashi. One of the 7 gods of dreams and wishes. God of dreams. Yeah. It's kinda confusing, but to put it in short, there are 7 different gods that basically can grant the greatest desire or dream. Their vessel or founder, as we call them, asks. We're also referred to as something called nether gods. There's 3 different kinds, you know, like the world creators. Those are the big ones with the big shrines and stuff that everybody worships. And then us nether gods, who are smaller, but still have inhuman abilities and help mortals. And then last are demigods, half human half god, but I'm pretty sure they all kinda died off. I don't really know. Your god talk is getting a bit boring. I'm sorry. You just needed a brief explanation, I think. I mean, if you didn't know, you summoned me. About that, how? Oh, you like broke my shell and awakened the god living inside of it. That's what that was? Huh. I got some marble from this weird lady I saw leaving class one day, and cracked it earlier. That must have been it. Oh yes. That was it. I didn't know that damn marble was some sort of god egg. I guess you could call it that. And since you awakened me, you will be granted a wish, anything you want. I think as long as it's physically possible. A wish? I don't have one. Huh. What do you mean? I don't have a desire. There's nothing I want from you. Huh. That's weird. Riches. I can make you the wealthiest man in the world for the rest of your life. Tempting offer. The blonde thought for a moment. Paying all of his university intuition seemed pretty nice. But getting money from some god seemed like cheating to him. Or I can make you like really smart or something. I'm already top of my classes, I don't need brains. Either way, no, there's still nothing I want from you. That's not true. If it were, I probably wouldn't have been summoned to begin with. Huh, what do you mean? I mean that I can't leave until this wish is fulfilled. That's like the biggest and only job of a nether god. Oh. So you're just going to be with me forever, or what? That's exciting. No need to sound so sarcastic. But if that's how you wanna put it, I guess. Well, no, not really. Just until you tell me what your wish is, or die. So forever, great. Thanks for clarifying it. Anyways, I'm still skeptical about all this god stuff. You're gonna have to prove it better. I'm not the type to just take your word for it, thanks. Tadashi went quiet for a moment, thinking to himself. There was an awkward silence in the room for a second. His eyes brightened up as he stared directly at Tsukishima. He leapt forward straight through his body, a cold gust of air taking place of Tadashi's build as he passed through Tsuki. Whoa, what the hell? I told you I'm there, but well, only you can see me. Still not enough. Do you have some crazy superpowers or something? Can you telepathically pick up a book or read my mind? I'm not a damn superhero, I'm a god. Idiot. Tadashi snapped. It took a second for him to realize what he said, and he put his hands over his mouth, looking at Tsuki nervously. Sorry that was mean. He took in a breath again, turning to give Tsukishima a soft smile. I guess you could call this a superpower. I mean, if you consider shape-shifting some power. The nether gods have different abilities than others, because we can interact with humans directly. We have an ability to shapeshift into what they find the most attractive. So the person you're seeing now isn't my true form. We don't really have true forms, it just depends. but it is what you'd find the most appealing. I see. So to sum it up, the freckled face grass head you are right now is what I take the most interest in? Well, yes. But it doesn't have to be romantic or sexual attraction, it might just be the similar age to why I look like this. That makes sense. But I can't say he isn't pretty. Oh, what the hell am I thinking? And along with the shape-shifting ability, we can change into a mortal form. We can't die still, but we function like a normal human. This also means others will be able to interact and touch me. He'd hate to admit it, but Tsukishima found this god business pretty interesting. He gave the boy an unimpressed look for a second, looking him up and down. Okay, then do it. Tadashi nodded. He closed his eyes for a second and held his hand out, a paper appearing out of nowhere and hovering over his hand. In his other hand was a quill and he signed something down on the floating paper before both items disappeared, but everything still remained the same. What the fuck was that wizard shit you just pulled? It's some weird tradition or something. I think all the dream gods have to do it before making themselves look like a human. I guess you can call it a spell, if you're creepy. You are creepy. Not true. But I don't blame you, so I won't argue. Tadashi gave him another smile and then, narrowing his eyes at Tsuki's right arm, stick out your hand. Tsukishima, though hesitantly, complied and held out his hand a little in front of him. The shorter boy looked at his hand for a few seconds before reaching out and putting their hands together. Tsukishima flushed a little bit but ignored it. His hands were warm. Not the sweaty kind of warm, but the soft cuddled up in blankets kind of warm. In a way it was comforting to Tsuki, but he wouldn't dare say anything out loud. Is this enough proof? I'm visible to others too now, and I can go back to being in your imagination anytime you want as well. Yeah, I believe you. Tsuki ripped his hand away from the other, holding it behind his back. He refused to make eye contact with the other. So about you leaving? Because of the wishes and all that? I told you, I can't leave. And it's against the rules to do things on my own or separate from you for too long, so it's not like I can just go explore the world. Gods have rules now? Yeah. Well, the lower classes do at least. Can we come up with some sort of alternative so you don't have to be some creep in my head? I'm not a creep. But yes, I'm sure we can do something. Do you have to be beside me constantly? No, not all the time, I don't think. I actually don't know, but even if we were apart for a day or so, I'd still be at your call whenever. I know. Maybe I can enroll here in your college. In my human form. It's a university. I don't know how many times I have to remind you all. Even. I have been mixing it up lately, you're all idiots. Same difference. Tsukishima rolled his eyes again for about the 100th time that night, though the idea wasn't that bad. There were many things that could go wrong. Do you even know how much school costs? Where are you getting all this money from? I'm a god, I can get it all covered. I think. You think? You seem so sure about this. Tadashi stepped forward, grabbing both of Tsukishima's hands in his and holding them together. He looked up, giving the taller boy a smile. Don't worry about it, trust me. A warmth crept onto Tsuki's cheeks by the sudden touch. He slowly removed his hands from the boy and crossed his arms. What about an identity? Family? Exams? Where are you going to live? All this stuff is crucial to this ridiculous idea of yours. I told you, I can get all of it figured out. The family and exams might be a bit of an issue. I haven't studied much of human academics, but you can help me with that, can't you? I can. But will I? Haha, please say yes. I'll think about it. I'm sure I can get it set up in the next week, but for tonight, can I stay with you? The tired university student let out an irritated groan. For someone who's supposed to be a god, he was super annoying. Whatever. Sure. Can I just go back to sleep without your damn marble waking me up again? I'm too tired to deal with this right now. Thank you so much. You're the best. I'll owe you one. Yeah, apparently you owe me a wish. Oh yeah, that? Haha, sorry, I almost forgot. Tadashi then smiled at him, nervous, his messy green hair sticking up a bit as he scratched the back of his neck. Tsuki flickered off the lights again, leaving the room completely pitch black as he settled himself back on the top bunk. The other boy stood there in the middle of the room quietly for a few seconds until yet another crash was heard. Ow! What are you doing now? Tsukishima hissed. He bolted his body back up, smacking the lights on just to see his room. Looking like a disaster, the spinny black chair knocked over on the floor along with a bunch of papers and pens rolling around, Tadashi only staring down at the mess he made. Sorry, I'm kinda new at this whole god thing. You don't say. The taller boy let out a deep groan before turning the lights back off and falling back onto the mattress, not even bothering to clean it or tell his new friend to do so either. Stop trashing my room and go to bed. Yes, right. Sorry. The night now came to an end. It was eventful, that's for sure. A piece of him hoped he'd wake up in the morning and this whole god ordeal would be some crazy dream. But the other part of him was curious to see where this would go. Now, only the subtle whistling of the wind filled the room and the very dim light of the stars on the ceiling. The awakening of a god is not something he'd expect to happen in his life, especially this night. But it did, and he couldn't quite tell if it was